What's up, guys? Welcome back to the I'm Catholic Project. My name is Marco Manzella. Today we're talking about the second week in our Hope series. Last week we talked about how hope is not a feeling, it's a decision. And today we're going to be talking about what happens when the rubber really hits the road. How do you hope when everything around you is just, it's almost a hopeless situation? How do you hope when the only thing you can face is despair? So hope is an exciting virtue. It's a rebellious virtue. It's one that is literally, by its definition, hopeful, right? And it's often regarded as a most positive virtue, but hope is most manifest when things are going wrong. Hope is most needed when things are going very wrong. And I don't know what's going on in your life right now. I truly pray that you aren't in a hopeless situation. I pray that everything's going good. God's just showering you with graces upon graces. But there's going to be seasons in our lives where they get really challenging, when things go really, totally and completely wrong. And perhaps that's the season that you find yourself in now. Perhaps you're in a place where it just doesn't look like there's an answer. It doesn't look like there are any good options in front of you. It feels hopeless. Now is the place that we're really meant to manifest this virtue of hope. Now is the place where we're meant to decide to be hopeful. Now is the place where we invite God into this journey with us, into our pain, into our suffering, and into our loss with us, so that we can bring about hope right now. And let me be clear, I know that some of you are doing this. You're praying the prayers, you're staying silent, you're finding this time to give to God, and you're relying entirely and totally on Him. I know that for many people, which is amazing, for many people, when things get tough, the first person that they resort to is God. The first direction that they turn to is God. Perhaps that's you, I hope it is. But even for these people, leaning into God and just relying entirely on Him, while it may be the thing that we know we should do, and it may be the thing that we do, it still feels difficult. We still don't get the answer. We still can't find the solution. We still don't know where to go or what to do. And perhaps this is where you are right now. And if you're in this place where you don't have the answer and you're doubting and you're struggling, that's okay. That's okay too. We are human. We are not perfect, and to deny the fact that we're going through this challenging situation is almost to deny ourselves, or to be ignorant to the fact that you're in a challenging situation. And if you're in this place looking around and struggling to see Him, you're in good company. This is a place where many people throughout the course of the Bible, and many people throughout the history of the world, have found themselves kind of lost and really lonely and really struggling and asking and questioning, God, where are you? Scripture is full of this cry of, God, how long do I have to wait? How long will I endure this torment? How long will I have to suffer or encounter whatever difficulty it is that I'm facing right now? You're not any less Catholic or Christian because you're asking this question. No, right now you're probably being honest and vulnerable, which is enough of an invitation for God to do special things with that honesty, with that vulnerability, with that hurt. Let's look back to the story of Jesus and Lazarus. Jesus knows that Lazarus, his close friend, the brother of Mary and Martha, is sick and it's bad. And he receives news that Lazarus has died. Jesus' friend has died. And we know that Lazarus matters to Jesus. We know that Lazarus in particular matters to Jesus. Why? Because when Jesus hears about Lazarus' death, we receive the shortest verse in the Bible. Jesus wept. You see this manifestation of his emotion. This is the reaction, the very human reaction to this tragic news that he's just received. Yet Jesus still delayed, knowing that his friend was on his deathbed, quite literally. He waited 2 days before going through to see Mary and Martha. And what happened from this consequence? What happened from this story? This wasn't a parable. This was Jesus' experienced life. This was his friend. Jesus goes and in this place of utter hopelessness, in this place of despair. Death has literally won, but not just won. Death has won for days at this point. Jesus goes and he calls Lazarus out of the tomb. You see this resurrection, this miraculous resurrection. Out of the pits of despair and death, you have this hope. Jesus decided Lazarus was coming back, and so it was. Why did Jesus wait? It's not because he didn't care. It's not because he wanted his friend to suffer. It's not because he wanted to be late for the funeral or anything like that. No, it's because he knew that even in this darkness, even in this death, God was still working. And in the exact same way, in whatever death and whatever despair it is that you're going through, God is still working. Let's look at Jesus's passion. You know, Jesus knows that he's about to suffer unimaginable pain. In the Garden of Gethsemane, we know that he's in agony. Literally, the first mystery and the sorrowful mysteries is the agony in the garden, not the difficult time in the garden. Jesus sweat blood. Like, he knew that this was going to be as bad as it's going to get ever. And he actively chose to embrace that. Lord, if it be your will, may this chalice pass from my lips, but not as I will, as you will. Jesus, despite facing this insurmountable darkness, despite understanding what he was about to endure and encounter for me and for you, he decided, he hoped, he knew that even in this darkness, God was going to use this for his glory. God was going to bring about the greatest good that has ever been performed in this world. The reason that you and I get to go to heaven one day, God used it. Now, I don't know what God is using your pain and your suffering for. I am sorry that you're enduring it, but God is using it. God is using you right now. This is what we call redemptive suffering. The mystery that your suffering, united to Christ's, becomes a part of his saving work. And so, after all of this, I know you may be thinking about this on an intellectual level, and you've probably had thoughts about these again, but just to bring it back down to the heart, guys, I know that it feels like God is not there sometimes, but he is. And again, the only way that I've experienced, only way to get through suffering is to just carry on, to just get through. Just know that I'm praying for you. If you feel lonely and isolated and completely abandoned, you're not completely abandoned by God. And I'm praying for you specifically. There are going to be people in this community, and it's a wonderful community of people who are struggling right now. I'm going to ask that you pray for them over the course of this next week. And if you know someone who's going through some really bad time right now, please share this video with them. Hopefully that could help them in their own journey. Because hope is not a feeling. When we feel alone, to just be positive doesn't mean to hope. No, hope is an action. It's a decision. It's this reliance upon God intentionally, even when we don't feel like he's there, because he is. My name is Marco Manzano. I'm Catholic and I'm proud. I hope that you guys are too. See you guys. Ciao.